We live? Hi guys, welcome back. It's 27th of January. Live demo, we're on site. Thankfully, if those of you that joined me yesterday for the live stream, apologies for the quality. I've realised, as I've spoken to before, doing the live stream, the quality, the resolution of the videos isn't very good, which is why our cameraman Juan is back, and thankfully we're recording this, but we are here. It is the 27th. For those of you that could make out what we were doing yesterday, this is this pillar that I was talking about. She's going to catch this big old boy up here. Yeah. So the reason for the size of that is because it's got to catch this steel, and also if you look above there, there's these angle iron lintels here. See, that's just floating in mid-air at the moment because I built it in that side up there. So in fact, I've just put that under there just to sort of catch it. But what I'm saying is this pillar is taking an awful lot of load in one point, that's why it's the size of it. We are building it solid. I need to fill that up actually in a bit. When we get so far up to the underside of the steel, we will be putting in what's called a pad stone. Which I did show you yesterday as well. You can see one on the opposite side of the steel over there, there's a pad stone on there, if you can see that. Basically that pad stone distributes the load, it's very strong in compression, so it distributes the load evenly. If this was just sat on these soft clay bricks, you know, see these bricks, clay, they're only very soft. You can show them, they're only very brittle. Eventually it would break. So that's why we've got this pad stone, because all this loads on. The floor's on here, you can hear someone upstairs, and the floor's probably one of the joiners. The floor's sat on here, there's an awful lot of weight on this steel. This morning I give you an assignment, or I put one on there, for level 1s and level 2 about. It's a bit of a stretch and challenge assignment because there's some terminology in it which is going to be alien to you, and is slightly beyond not beyond the scope of brickwork, but it's essential that I think we start to think about construction in general, not just brickwork one top or two, especially whilst we've got the opportunity to teach so much theory online. There's some stuff about modern methods of construction, MMCs, modern methods of construction. This is a modern method, or fairly modern method of construction. This is a timber frame building, as we've already discussed in various videos before. These are the studs. These are uprights. These are treated timber, as you can see. We've got a solid concrete floor. Now this timber stud is basically bolted to the floor. It's then sheathed in this OSB ply. And then, as you can see, there's our brickwork on the outside there, which is tied in. This is the gable end, which was in previous videos. Our brickwork is tied, so it is a cavity wall, but it's a timber. You've probably seen there the ties. It should be. What's a bit of rattling out actually, that cavity? It's a bit. Juan, can you just give one a little tickle? You can see the tie there. Thanks very much, Juan. So it's essentially a cavity wall, but it's known as a modern method of construction. Timber frame. They're a concrete frame, they're a steel frame, they're prefabricated structures. There is also what's called thin joint technologies now, which I put on your Wakelet hub. There is one by Wienerberger called Pora, which is a very, very fast thin joint technology method of construction. If you look at the way they build little supermarkets, they always use the Pora technology. It's extremely quick. You can raise entire lifts in a day because it uses adhesive rather than mortar. We'll go into that later, but there's plenty of videos on there about that. There's also there's another thin joint system by Thermalite Celcom, which is on there as well. Have a look at that. What it goes in between here will be insulation, which there is an example of there. So we've got this 100mm insulation there's just a piece of it. That's a dense, it's a bit of a piece of it. That's a dense 100mm insulation. Now that will, we don't do this, the joiners will do this, but basically these are cut down, put in between studs, and then it's counterlaid with another 50mm layer of it. Oh, there's a piece there. Another 50mm layer. Oh no, it's not, sorry. It's counterlaid with another 50mm layer of insulation, so it makes, no that's not it. So it makes an extremely a thermal
barrier.
It makes it extremely warm wall. Or to use a technical term which I'd like you to research, which is in that questionnaire that I've posted today, it creates a very low U value. That is a key terminology, which as a bricklayer, never mind any surveyor or anything, you should know what U value means. U value is a calculation, it's a measure of thermal conductivity. That is also in the quiz. Right, so you need to research that. There's plenty of stuff on the Wakelet app to look at, and there's also something called thermal bridging, which is also included in that. The answers are there for you. Anyway, back to this pillar. Hopefully Juan and I will have this up today. We're probably going to have a brew in a minute. Basically, these brick as well, they're that wet because they've been outside. That's we've honeycombed, that we've stacked them like that. That's a little tip for you. If you've ever got wet brick, they're absolute useless. You can't, they're unusable. Stack them like that, honeycomb effect. Lets the air get to them, lets them dry out. Yeah. This pillar here, like I say, we'll take it up to the steel. Then we'll come back. I'll give another video later, and we'll come back and put the padstone in. Just looking at them radiators over there, you would think for a property like this, it's worth £1 million that they would have had posher radiators than that. But there you go. They are bog standard radiators, aren't they? You know what I mean? £1 million, I'd want some decent ones, but there you go.
Horrendous.
That's it from the barn. Just as an update, oh yes, as you can see, we brought the mixer indoors. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but you might not have been able to see it because of the poor quality of the broadcast. We brought the mixer indoors because it's the rain. It was absolutely hammering it down yesterday. So we'll mix it in here. We haven't got much left to do on this job. We're hoping we've got to be off this job this week. We've got plenty in the pipeline. We've got some serious jobs coming up. We've got a full new build to do. That would be a cavity, brick and block, a full bungalow to do. There's all sorts in the pipeline. So hopefully we will be back in college soon. But like I keep saying to you, I don't know when, and at the moment it's not going to be next week anyway, let's face it. So I'm continuing to try and give you this interactive connection with what's going on site, and to give you some realistic content. And to hopefully start to make you think about outside the box of just what you do as in the practical in the workshop. This is real life, this is why you're doing it. This is why we're learning maths, so you can calculate heights, you can take dimensions. I had to set that pillar out. I had to set that pillar out yesterday. I did show you I showed you another tool that I had yesterday. It's in the van actually. But I showed you a laser dimension, basically a laser tape measure, which if you're on your own is useful. Just stick it on the wall and it fires a laser, it tells you the distance, which I used yesterday to set that out because I was on my own. I'll tell you what, I'll come back to that in a bit and show you that in a bit, because it's quite interesting. Hopefully the measurement will be right, both sides, as they'll have different size garage doors, and I'll probably never work for this developer again. I'm joking. I hope it's a But so I'm going to sign off. Go and have a look at the assignment. It is posted there. It is titled Modern Methods of Construction, I think. brickwork. This is for level 2 and 1. There is also an outstanding task about using SketchUp, which I touched on. That is another skill. If you can get all these skills while we're on lockdown, such as using basic CAD software, yeah, which enables you to think spatially and in 3D, it makes you a much more valuable bricklayer, right? It's not all about the practical, right? It's up there as well. It's about having to think about how we're going to do that, how that's going to fit in there. We are creating buildings from nothing. Yeah, it's not just about one on top of two. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Stay safe. We'll be back shortly. Juan and I, for now. Peace out.